Hey, greetings everybody. Welcome into this episode of Chamber Chat. My name is Bill Vitiello. I can't believe it. This is going to be like episode 9 or 10 for this season. So I can't wait. We have one more after this, and thank you all for tuning in. Again, Bill Vitiello from the Victory Bank. I'm the Director of Institutional Relationships for them and also the Treasurer for the Tri-County Area Chamber of Commerce. And today I'm actually in Phoenixville off of Egypt Road, and I'm going to visit Tess at Barry, Isett and Associates. So Haley, roll the intro. Okay, everyone, making our way into Barry, Isett and Associates. Like I said, we're going to meet Tess. So let's head inside. Here we are. Let's give a little knock on the door.
Hello,
Hey,
good
Tess.
morning.
How's it going?
Come on in.
How are you?
Great. Welcome to Barry Isett and Associates.
Thank you for having us. We appreciate it. We got the
Yeah.
welcoming committee right here. Is Diane?
Absolutely, absolutely. We are standing in our Phoenixville, Pennsylvania office. It's a pretty quiet day today. We got a lot of folks out in the field, but come on in, let me show you around.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that in a little bit. First, I'm looking at all your hard hats and everything here. So what is this?
Yes, this is just our little welcoming display. We have a hard hat here from Alex Ulmer, who's part of our environmental group. As you can see, these are not to be worn in the field. It's got quite a lot of use out of it. But yeah, we've got our mainline Chamber of Commerce. As you saw, we've got the Tri-County Chamber posted right on the door and up on the top shelf there.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right,
Absolutely.
cool. Well, let's head into the conference room and chat then. What do you think?
Sounds great.
All right. All right, so we're moving through the space here on our way up to the conference room. What is all this stuff over here, Tess?
So this is Alex Ulmer's desk, the man, the myth, the legend.
Oh, that's the legend himself?
Yep, you saw his hard hat. He is a professional geologist, so he's got some cool fossils, some rocks, a lot of trinkets and treasures from all his adventures.
It's very cool.
Yeah, this is a big field office. So we've got our survey group over here. We've got a lot of our code folks that sit over here. It's quite a cold day to be out there, but they're out in the field working hard today.
But hey, you got to get stuff done in the field.
Absolutely.
You can't get it done behind a desk, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. All right, cool. Well, let's head up to the conference
Yeah.
room then. Okay, everybody, we're sitting here with Tess. So, Tess, I know I've been using your first name, but if you wouldn't mind introducing yourself and your position with Barry Isett, please.
Sure. My name is Tess Dreyer. I'm the operations manager for the environmental department. I've been with Isett for about 6 years now, and I am based out of the Phoenixville, Pennsylvania office.
Nice, and that is where we are recording today. So also tell me, I understand you have an office up in the Lehigh Valley, is that correct?
We do. I believe we have about 9 offices now. So we now stretch from Scranton, as far north as Scranton, down south to Phoenixville, and then we go all the way out to Harrisburg. And we just opened our new corporate office, which is up off of Crackersport Road. So it's a beautiful office. I encourage anyone to visit. And it's really nice. In the old office, I had a desk in the basement. And in our new office, I have a window. So it's very exciting to see sunlight.
Nice, that's awesome. So people hear the name Barry Isett and Associates. What do you actually do? I know we kind of went through the space a little bit and we saw some rocks, and I think you're going to show us a few things too in a little while, but tell us what you guys do.
So the bigger question really is, what don't we do?
There you go.
So we have about 12 different disciplines. And Aaron and Jen really like to say that we could do everything except build the building and design the building. So we can do all of the components, the structural components, the MEP components, civil, geotech, environmental. So we can do all of that. We just can't really, make the building look pretty. Aaron and Jen have a much better saying, but we are a multidiscipline engineering firm. So like I said, we have structural, we have MEP, civil, geotech, municipal, wastewater, I'm in the environmental consulting group, so we play a very variety of various roles, and I think that's really what I like about it is there's something new, every day. So one day I'll be working on a stream restoration project. One day I'll be doing a remediation site. One day I'll be doing permitting. One day I'll be doing some due diligence work. It's very different, and really the variety that Isett has in its discipline and the breadth that we can serve is pretty fantastic. Kevin likes to call it a one-stop shop. So you can come here and get, a variety of the engineering, and there's different flavors for all of them, and we have them all under one roof, which is really 9 roofs, but
right.
we have them all.
Yeah, we get it. Well, it doesn't sound like you all are bored, that's for sure.
No, never.
So I wanted to ask you kind of got into it a little bit, but I was wondering if you could maybe provide some examples with some of those disciplines that you're talking about. So, the first one you mentioned was a stream restoration project. So tell me how your firm would work with something like that.
Yeah, so we actually have been doing quite a lot of those. So stream restoration can be a multitude of different things. So water moves a lot, and water is one of the most destructive forces on our planet. So we have all of these beautiful little creeks, but when they start going, they start flowing. So water likes to move things, water likes to jump around. So a lot of the stream restoration work that we're doing is we're kind of restoring these creeks to, better serve the communities that they're in. So we have a lot of development. This area is ripe with development in the areas that we are in. So we're trying to preserve the amenities and also restore these creeks. So for example, this morning, bright and early, 8 a.m., I was out up in the borough of Fleetwood. They're implementing some stream restoration measures. The Willow Creek through their borough park is really moving, and it's really brought in a lot of erosion, a lot of sedimentation. So what we're doing is we're grading the banks so that there's not this steep erosion cliff. We're building structures to more align the creek. So we have J-hooks and cross veins, and the purpose of those is to kind of move the water where you want the water to go. So instead of the water kind of flowing over the banks, we're redirecting it towards the center of the creek. So we've done stream alignments, we've done a lot of work on the banks. So when your banks erode, they're not doing the function that they were intended to. So we're restoring them with lunkers, we're restoring them with different measures to kind of better serve the purpose that they were intended, instead of just these cliffs that line the creeks.
Gotcha. So you were saying some words there that sound like a foreign language to me, which is why you hire the experts to take a look at things like this. So we're going to take a break for just a moment. Hailey is going to put up our next event that you guys have to attend. Hopefully we'll see you there, and we'll be right back.
Sounds great.
Join us on Wednesday, June 14th for our Economic Development Luncheon. Luke Bernstein, President and CEO of the Pennsylvania Chamber of Business and Industry, will give an update on the Keystone State. Berks County Commissioner Christian Leinbach will also give an update on the Schuylkill River Passenger Rail Authority. At this luncheon, we will also be recognizing our members who are celebrating a significant milestone anniversary this year. For questions regarding this event, please email alice@tricountyareachamber.com.
Hey everybody, we're back here with Tess, with Barry, Isett, and Associates. So Tess, you did bring a little bit of show and tell with you. I'm sure as you go on some of these different, do you call them calls or site visits? You find some things maybe? Do you want to do a little show and tell there?
Absolutely. I've brought with me Bambi today. Okay. So this is a deer skull. I'm sure everyone has seen a deer skull before, but I actually found this specimen when I was doing a wetland delineation. On staff, we have a professional wetland scientist, Michael Ronco, who's based out of our Stroudsburg office. So we do a lot of wetland delineations to support various forms of development. So before you develop a property, or maybe you're thinking about developing a property, you want to do the appropriate due diligence in looking for wetlands, regulated waters, other forms of bodies of water that have setbacks. So when you're developing, you know where not to develop, So I found this cool creature when I was doing a wetland delineation up in Hazleton. We do a lot of wetland delineations. Michael is currently working on getting his bog turtle assessor status. So we do a lot of bog turtle phase 1, which means we're out there looking for habitat of bog turtles. And it could go to phase 2 where you're actually looking for the turtles. So yeah, that's just one of the services that we provide. I really enjoy doing it. I love getting out in the field and kind of seeing all the beautiful wetlands that our state has to offer. And fun fact, May is American Wetlands Month.
Oh, okay. There you go. Well, this is very timely then.
Yes.
So what impresses me is the level of education that you all need to have when you're doing this. So tell me what your background is, Tess. Where'd you go to school and what'd you study?
Yeah, so I went to the University of Delaware, go Hens. I graduated in 2017 with a Bachelor's of Science in Environmental Science. I minored in eco-science. So in my program, you were able to kind of concentrate where you wanted to focus. So I wanted to really focus on ecology. Obviously, I love wetland delineations. I love being out in the field. It was something that really drew me to Delaware was the program. And then when I joined Isett, one of the things I really love about this company is how much they encourage going and pursuing more education. So at Isett, I was able to get a GIS certificate. I actually went to a 40-hour training for wetlands in State College. I was able to get a certification in asbestos surveying, which was great. So there's a lot of education that goes into this career, but I can also say that the mentors here at Isett have really provided me fantastic on-the-job training and mentoring.
That's a great, and it's very important in any kind of business. And, you know, it's interesting because at the bank, too, we believe in a lot of continuing education and learning more about the banking system. Just because I manage the bank's municipality portfolio doesn't mean that I don't have to know about other parts of the bank. So there's that investment in the employees and the overall knowledge. So you folks aren't compartmentalized necessarily. You're somewhat cross-trained. And I'm sure you bring in some specialists where you need to. Certainly, go ahead.
Yeah, and that's the thing about consulting is there's so many different facets. You know, like I was saying, one day you could be doing a wetland delineation. The next day you're assisting a client with a remediation site. So because it's so multifaceted, we're all kind of cross-training each other. You know, you might specialize in this type of wetland permitting, but I need help with this clean fill question. And so I've really appreciated all of the guidance that my mentors have provided here. And you kind of have to know a little bit of everything to be dangerous, but you know, we know which person to go to in the department that has the specialty.
Absolutely. So you're also involved in some continuing education in the chamber. Do I have that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So tell me what you're involved with there.
Yeah. So in the chamber, I'm part of Leadership Tri-County, which has been a fantastic experience getting to know other professionals in the community. It's been a wonderful program. We've gotten to meet not only professionals in the community, but also nonprofits, going to different chamber members, businesses, and learning how they are leaders. And I've really learned a lot about myself through this program. I stepped into the operations manager role in 2021. Yeah, my sister graduated college in 2021. I remember that. And, you know, I had only been at Isett about 4 years at that point, 3 years. So it was really, you know, I rose to the challenge. When it opened up, I knew it was something that I wanted to grow with Isett. I wanted to keep pursuing more. So going through this leadership class, I've learned a lot about myself, a lot of what it takes to be a leader, and just learning from my classmates, learning from others. It's been a great experience. I'm also part of the Tri-County Young Professionals group.
Oh yeah, YPN, yeah.
Yeah, so we were trying to revive the group after COVID. It's mostly, you know, we're trying to get a variety of different activities and events. So we've got some networking, some social, some professional development. So we're really trying to like bring back the group, bring a specific committee and group together for just young professionals. You know, the Tri-County puts on so many fantastic events. And it's great when young professionals know some, just going into the event. So we're just trying to be a welcoming space and group for other young professionals in the Tri-County.
Well, you are, and I can also tell you, as somebody who's been in the chamber for a little while, that we appreciate that energy. We appreciate that point of view, and we need your group to help us propel the chamber forward, right? Like we need those ideas, and we need that passion and that enthusiasm.
Yeah, we in the leadership, we just learned about like multi-generational. The workforce. There's 5 different generations in the workforce. So it's interesting now too to see we have all of these young professionals, and I'm 28, but it's great seeing the people that are fresh out of college that are hungry to learn and network and grow. So it's really awesome to see like all of these young people coming in, myself included, as well as learning from everyone else in the chamber, the more seasoned professionals, and again, coming back to leadership, learning from them, understanding how they got to be where they are. It's great, and it's been awesome to be a part of the committee.
Okay, so earlier we saw Bambi from one of the sites that Tess had worked on, but you have some other stuff here, Tess, that you wanted to show us. Yes?
I do. So recently, Isett reorganized into a couple different divisions. So in the field division, we have our survey group, we have our geotechnical group, we have our forensics group, and we have environmental. So this rock core that I'm holding actually came from our geotech group. So our geotech group will investigate the subsurface of a site to determine the suitability for structures. So they're really looking to see what type of structure do they want to build on the site, and what foundation will be suitable in supporting that structure. So when they have bedrock, what they'll do is they will do some rock coring. So there's soil, and then you've got your bedrock. So that's what this happens to be. It's really cool. If you can see, you got some laminations in there of different rock types. It's pretty cool. I thought it would be neat to share.
It's definitely cool. It's not every day you see a rock core. So you're talking about the laminations? You say those are different types of rock?
So it's the same type of rock. It's just you can see there's different striations in the way that the rock
has compressed
formed
over time.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't exactly know what type of rock this is just by looking at it, but as you can see, you can kind of see the variations and how the rock
Very
is formed.
Cool.
Yeah.
I like it. And then what else you got there? You have another rock?
This is another rock.
Okay.
Again, this came from our geotech. When we're out in the field, we all find all sorts of really cool things, and I'm a big proponent for leave no trace. But if you happen to find something pretty neat, it's awesome. It's an awesome education piece to show people. So we're all big rock fiends in this office. We have a lot of field folks here. So as you walk around everyone's desk, everyone has a little bit of a different collection. I happen to really enjoy skulls. Others really like rocks, fossils, and some people like snacks. So that's their treasures.
What type of rock is that, or do you know where that came from at all? Or
I do not know where this came from. This is the part of the collection from our geotech group, and they've got all sorts of rock collections. So I just grabbed some of the rocks that I thought were pretty cool. Looks like there's some sort of quartz in here. It's interesting from the geotech perspective because they drill into a lot of different rock types. So they're always finding really cool cores that they love to come back and show people. But they'll do strength testing to determine how capable this rock is. We did a cool project up in the Lehigh Valley, which is karst topography. So a lot of limestone, which is that's why sinkholes are pretty prevalent up there. But it's cool when you're drilling and you feel the voids. So as you're drilling, you can feel your hammer drop through the void. So you know that you're in, like an underground cave, which is a little creepy, but it's still really interesting.
Yeah. So earlier we were talking about stream restoration projects. And again, you were using words that are not in my language. But off camera, we were talking about a really interesting project that you wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
So go ahead, I'll let you.
Yeah. So we did really interesting project up in the Lehigh Valley. First, we did a phase 1, which is just kind of a desktop review for due diligence. So we're looking for any environmental issues on the site that could pose, a concern to development, or when you purchase the site, you're purchasing the site's problems. So we did a review of the site, and we found one piece of documentation that indicated the site was an old municipal landfill. And we found it was a picture of this landfill and trash just all over the side of the embankment. Mm-hmm. Whoa, what is this? So we did a little bit more digging, and we realized that the site, while it's this beautiful, pristine area now, it used to be a municipal landfill. So we did test pits, we did soil borings, we did groundwater sampling. We turned the site really into Swiss cheese. I think we collected over 300 soil samples.
Wow, okay.
And turns out it was a municipal landfill, and we did the appropriate remediation, which involved a cap over the site, and ended up being able to get a relief of liability, which is an Act 2 closure for the site. So we just made sure that the site had no exposure pathways and was safe for human use. And the client went on to purchase the property, and it was a very interesting site because it was just one piece of documentation that really told us what was there.
Yeah.
So it was cool to see, and you never know what's lurking under the subsurface. So it was a really good lesson too for the client in the importance of due diligence. So, before you buy these properties, they might look great, they may look pristine, but you never know what that history would show.
Incredibly interesting. Like you said, you were saying it's just one part of that entire purchase process and one part of that entire property, and to bring you guys in to do all that is obviously necessary.
Yeah, and it's definitely important to bring on your environmental team earlier in your due diligence process to make sure that you don't have these issues, because the environmental issues can build. So identifying them early and being able to address them with the right team is critical.
And banks have the tendency to ask some questions.
Absolutely.
We certainly want to make sure the site is environmentally okay. So, all right, so Tess, we're wrapping up the interview here. Thank you so much for taking the time. If folks wanted to get in touch with you or anybody else, how can they reach you? Absolutely. I'm a big talker, so I love a phone call. So I'm always available via phone, email. We have a general information box on Barry Isett's website that always gets funneled to the correct people. But yeah, I love to chat, environmental or not, even just about the chamber, the young professionals or leadership. I'm always available to chat. Awesome. Well, thank you for being so open to that. And thank you for taking the time today. This was for your first podcast. You did wonderful. Oh, thank you. Thank you. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Chamber Chat. My name is Bill Vitiello. I'm the Director of Institutional Relationships for the Victory Bank in Limerick. And until we connect again, all my best. Bye for now. Bye.
For more information, you can visit www.barryisett.com, email tstryer@barryisett.com, or call 484-866-4844. Thank you for watching.